This video review was requested by Jay's Creepy Crypt over on Instagram. Click the link in the description below and give him a follow. Let him know Overlord sent ya. Now on to the review.
Take my path, everlast, endless pain, always bleed. Silent sound, stalking ground, cemetery run, I'm lost alone.
Hey guys, so Lord here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Rentra Build-A-Figure Wave Sleepwalker. And before we get into it here, let us first take a look-see at both the front and the back of the packaging. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now before we get into the meat and taters of this review, Sleepwalker does come with two pairs of hands. The first of which is this pair of fist hands so we can punch your freaking lights out. The second of which is this pair of open/relax hands, or as I like to call them, the turn your head and cough hands. Oh yeah! If I'm being quite honest, I do think he would have benefited from some more expressive hands. I mean, these are okay, but they just seem kind of lifeless to me. That, and is it just me, or would Sleepwalker have looked awesome with a gritted teeth head? Not sure if he's known for being a screamer in the comics, but a head with some gritted teeth for this guy would look really kick-ass, so a missed opportunity there. But with that being said, let's now move on and take a look at the aesthetics and articulation. Taking a closer look at our Sleepwalker here, and a bit of a disclaimer, don't get me wrong, I'm super happy to finally have this guy, but I gotta tell you guys, I'm a bit let down by this figure, but we'll get into all that in just a moment, because for the most part, it does look like Sleepwalker. Granted, he's a little bit on the short side for Sleepwalker, I think. Really, I feel like maybe the Grim Reaper body would have been better for this guy. I don't know. We'll look at some size comparisons to some average to larger size standard Marvel Legends figures in just a moment. We'll talk about that a little bit more then. But looks like Sleepwalker though, which is a plus. They didn't screw that up, thankfully. I do like the aesthetic of this guy. He's really cool. I like the wraps. Has a lot of new tooling on him, considering he is essentially a Bucky Cap repaint, at least in his core here. But his boots are new, his lower arms are new, his belt is new, his head is new, of course. I don't think the feet are new, or the hands he came with. Maybe they are. Are they wrapped hands or just regular gloves? I can't tell. Not enough line work going on there for me to really notice difference or not. And then, of course, his arms, his upper arms, shoulders, torso, upper legs. Those are all reused from Bucky Cap. And this bandage thing on his thigh here is, of course, new. This cape is from the Hobgoblin, and I honestly think it works better for Sleepwalker than it does on the Hobgoblin. Because Hobgoblin's not really drawn with a torn-up cape all the time, unless he's kind of turning into the Demo Goblin, which isn't all the time, so I don't know why this was used with Hobgoblin as much as it was. Oh, it was also used with Demo Goblin, wasn't it? The Build-A-Figure. So that's fine, but at any rate, yeah, as I said before in accessories, would have been nice to get like a different expression, like some gritting teeth or an open mouth. I don't know if he's a screamer or not, but I've definitely seen him pull off like the Spawn gritting teeth look. I mean, that was a thing with a lot of 90s characters. They did that all the time, right? That, or maybe a head without the hood on it would have been nice, because he is drawn without his hood sometimes, so that would have been nice too. But unfortunately, it seems like Sleepwalker got the short end of the stick as far as accessories and really quality goes, because, man, it just seems like Hasbro would rather spend their money on stuff that nobody really asked for, like the Eternals wave, instead of a character like this, which people have wanted for quite a few years, maybe even more than that. least that's how it felt to me, but I could be wrong. As far as articulation on this guy goes, his head will rotate, will look up and down just fine. Considering he has a hood, could be way worse. Shoulders go out to the side, go back down. They rotate around, they're nice and tight. He's got a swivel in the bicep. And here's where the point of contention is for me with this figure. He's got the double elbow, right? Works fine, you know, it's effective. Gummy as hell. Look at that. What is that? These are going to be $25 soon, and I'm sorry, but that is not acceptable. Not at that price point. If you're going to charge $25 for a figure, then they better not do that. Because let's see. All the Marvel Legends I've reviewed so far this year, with pins, mind you, do not do this. Not even the Doctor Strange Walmart exclusive was this bad. So, I don't know what the hell the excuse for this is. This seems like... I don't know. It seems like this is a bad thing for, you know, quality. I don't see this as an improvement at all. I would think if this was more solid and less gummy, it would be better. But I could be wrong. You know, I feel like this is more of a safety hazard because a kid could rip this dude's arm off, put it in their mouth. I'm just saying. Not saying that's going to happen, but I'm sure there's a dumb kid out there that's done that before. And he has a hinge and swivel wrists. Does have an ab crunch that works pretty well. Really well. If you pop the cape off, he can bend back a little bit more than that. He does have a waist swivel. That works pretty well. Nice and tight there. Hips. Here's the kicker. No pun intended. Okay, maybe a little bit. Kick out to the side about a right angle. Very impressive. Very impressive. They move forward and back. He's got a thigh swivel, which is loose. Pretty loose. So, again, I don't... It seems to me like loose joints are more of a safety hazard than tight ones. Because tight ones... Yeah, they might break or whatever, but these loose ones, they seem like they could tear easier just because of how gummy they are. Like, his knees are super gummy, too. Maybe not as bad as his elbows, but his knees are definitely gummy. But he does have a double joint there. They are kind of loose, too. So, I don't know, man. He's got a boot swivel. He's got a hinge in the foot with an ankle rocker. It just seems half-assed to me. Like, they put all the money into a character like America Chavez that, you know, she's in the same wave, so I'm bringing her up. Who, as far as I can tell, what I've seen from the new Doctor Strange movie, which is what wave this guy is from, the Doctor Strange movie wave, her character's dumb and stupid and overpowered and ridiculous, and they wasted how much budget on her as opposed to just making Sleepwalker acceptable? I don't even need pinless joints to be happy in life, you know? I just need not gummy joints for the same price as a figure that's like all new, you know? And instead of shelling out money on all these characters that are just kind of whatever, why don't they put them into the ones we want, we've been asking for? Like Deathlock, or, you know, Angela, or Ghost Rider even. All figures that I have, that have pins, that are kind of older, and they're all really solid still. And this guy, right out of package, is looser than like all of those after I've had them for several years. So, you know, if you're going to start charging $25 for these guys, Hasbro, you need to step it up. McFarlane is kicking your ass and making you look bad right now. And I have no doubts in my mind about that. Because for the price point, you can't go wrong with what the Todd Father's putting out. So, with that being said, sorry this got a little bit ranty, but it is what it is. I'm disappointed in this figure because it's character I really wanted, and Hasbro literally Hasbro'd him every step of the way. But with that being said, let's now move on and take a look at some size comparisons. First up here is Sleepwalker next to a couple other really awesome 90s Marvel characters, Darkhawk and Deathlock. And can I just say, can we please go back to the way things were with comics? Kick-ass superheroes doing kick-ass superhero things. Who's with me? Next up, here he is alongside the symbiote/black costume Spider-Man from the Retro Spider-Man Wave 2 and the Hasbro PulseCon exclusive Spider-Man the Animated Series of Venom. If I'm being perfectly honest, I think Sleepwalker would have benefited from being on a base body that's more in between these two, and while he is ever so slightly taller than good old Spidey here, I think he should have been more on par with this Venom. Maybe something like the Grim Reaper body would have been more fitting for this character. What do you guys think? And last, but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus, 11th Spawn, who as usual towers over everyone, but in this case, I do wish that Sleepwalker was a little bit closer to the same height as good old Al Simmons here. So with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and even though I am very happy to be adding a Sleepwalker figure of any variety, Marvel Legends or otherwise, to my collection, I've got to be honest here, I am a bit disappointed in the quality and build of this figure. I don't think this is the best possible representation we could get for Sleepwalker as a character from the Marvel Legends line, considering what other bodies they have in their catalog. I think this guy would have been a little bit better on the Grim Reaper body, or heck, they shelled out enough money on this tooling as it is. Why not just give him a new body with pinless arms and legs? That way we could avoid all gumminess altogether, but unfortunately he is just a simple reuse of Bucky Cap, and since these things are going from $20 to $25 in the near to distant future, I'm sorry, but that's just not acceptable for that price point. The quality needs to either improve so there's no more gumminess, or they all need to be pinless or something, because this, while I am happy to have a Sleepwalker, as I said before, this just ain't cutting it, man. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you are so inclined, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. If you haven't already, please hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is, especially when you get the short end of the stick like Sleepwalker here. I mean, why'd you have to do that to my guy, man? It's not cool. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.